Today we're diving into the silent conversations happening all around us. We're talking about body language, that hidden force that can build trust, create influence, or, set off alarm bells before anyone even says a word.
You know that feeling, right? That little gut instinct you get about someone, but you can't quite put your finger on why? Yeah, they're saying all the right things. They've got a smile on their face, but something just feels, well, it feels wrong. That feeling? That's your brain picking up on a secret conversation.
And here's the crazy part. It happens fast. I mean, really fast. We're talking less than 1 second.
That's it. That's all the time your brain needs to make its first call on someone. Before they've even finished their first sentence, you've already formed an impression, all based on this powerful, unspoken language.
So let's get right into it with our first section, the 1-second judgment. This is all about why our brains are hardwired to trust what a body is doing way more than the words coming out of a mouth.
Oh, the classic "I'm fine." We've all heard it, and let's be honest, we've all said it. But just picture someone saying that with their shoulders slumped, face all tense, and their voice just heavy. Did you believe him for a second? Of course not.
And that's really the key here. When what someone says and what their body is doing are in conflict, our brain almost always defaults to trusting the body. It's just a faster, more primal channel of communication, one that's been baked into us for survival.
Now, the science behind that lightning-fast judgment, it has a name, thin slicing. It's basically your brain's superpower. It finds patterns and makes these snap decisions based on just tiny little slivers of information. And it's not a bug. It's a feature, an ancient survival skill. Is this person a friend or a foe? Are we safe here or is this a threat? Your brain makes that call in an instant.
Okay, so let's move on and see how this gets even more interesting. Our next section, your body changes your brain. We tend to think our mind is the boss, telling our body what to do. But it turns out it's a two-way street.
Think about posture for a minute. Most of us were told to sit up straight to look good or seem respectful. But wow, it goes so much deeper. Your posture is actively changing your brain chemistry moment to moment. It's this amazing feedback loop, really. When you sit upright, your lungs open up, you're taking in more oxygen, and you literally start to feel more alert and more capable. But the second you slouch, your breathing gets shallow, which sends signals of stress and low energy right to your brain. So you don't just look less confident, you actually start to feel it.
And this is the core idea of what scientists call embodied cognition. The physical state of your body, how you're sitting, how you're standing, how you're breathing, is directly shaping how you think and feel. So if you want to feel more confident before a big meeting, don't just think confident thoughts. Try adopting a confident posture first.
So if our own body can change our mind, what about the effect it has on other people? Well, that brings us right to our third section, the science of connection. Here, we're going to decode some of the most powerful signals we send through our eyes and how we use our personal space.
Let's start with a big one. You've probably heard this a million times, right? It's like the cornerstone of pop psychology. But is it actually true?
No, not at all. It is a complete and total myth. In fact, research shows it's a really unreliable way to spot a liar.
What's really wild is that sometimes the exact opposite is true. Skilled liars, they know about this myth, so they'll often overcompensate. They'll actually make more eye contact just to seem more trustworthy. The real takeaway is that eye contact is a tool for connection, not a lie detector.
Now let's talk about those invisible bubbles we all carry around. An anthropologist named Edward T. Hall figured out we have these distinct zones of personal space. And when someone crosses one of these unspoken boundaries, like, a total stranger standing way too close in line, it triggers an immediate stress response in our brain. Understanding these zones is pretty much the key to navigating social situations without making people feel uncomfortable.
Okay, this brings us to one of the most fascinating areas of all. Truth lies in your face. I mean, your face can be a fantastic liar, but sometimes the real emotions just leak out.
Take the smile, for example. A real, genuine smile, what scientists often call a Duchenne smile, doesn't just involve the mouth. It engages the muscles around the eyes, too. It's what gives you those little crow's feet. But a fake or a social smile, that often just uses the mouth. And that's why some smiles just feel empty. Your brain is picking up that the eyes aren't in on the conversation.
And then, sometimes, emotions just flash across our face before we even have a chance to stop them. They're called microexpressions. It's a brief flash of anger or fear
or disgust that lasts less than half a second. They're basically these involuntary leaks from our emotional brain, and they can reveal what a person is truly feeling in that split second.
So if there's no single gesture for a lie, no Pinocchio's nose, what do the experts actually look for? Well, it all comes down to one critical word: incongruence, a mismatch. It's when someone says yes, but is subtly shaking their head no. Or they're telling you a happy story, but you see this flash of sadness on their face. It's the cluster of mismatched signals that really matters.
And this all brings us to our final and I think most important section, the power of alignment. So what do we do with all this information? It really comes down to putting all these pieces together to become a truly authentic and effective communicator.
At the end of the day, influence and trust aren't really about manipulation or trying to fake it till you make it. They're about alignment. It's when your posture, your facial expressions, your tone of voice, and your gestures are all telling the exact same story as your words. That's when you become what's called an integrated communicator. People perceive that as genuine, as authentic, and that's when communication becomes totally effortless.
So I want to leave you with a question. Right now, as you're sitting there listening to this, what message is your body sending? Are you open or are you closed off? Are you feeling stressed or relaxed? That silent conversation, it never ever stops. And now you know a little more about how to listen.